Let's go to our caller from the 401 area code, our friendly
Ooh,
neighbors to the south
hello.
in Rhode Island,
That's
I would
me, right?
guess. Yes, that is you.
Yes, hello. My name is Michael. I live in Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Woonsocket, very lovely
And
place.
I have a lot on my mind. I have plenty of questions, but I got one. How can we, just looking at the kind of complete political mess, it reminds me a lot of the antebellum era. Like, I feel like we're so divided. Like, how can we coexist? I don't feel like, excuse me, I'm on a spectrum, so just follow me.
All right.
Okay. Like we can't even, we don't seem to agree on reality basically,
Yeah.
and just one side, it just seems they just keep on demonizing us to the point like you see us as anti-American, and I'm beginning to see them as anti-American, and just how can we coexist? How can we? This is just ridiculous.
You know, you've gotten to one of the fundamental issues that's going on right now, which is if we don't even have a shared understanding of the most basic truths about reality, I don't know how we work together to solve anything. And that's where we get these situations where one party gets into power and gets a couple of things done around the edges, getting around the obstruction of the other party, and then the situation reverses. And meanwhile, it's the mass of people that lose. It's people who are hoping to get a raise whose wages have been stagnant for 40 years. If you're in the bottom 50% of the country, it's a healthcare system that still doesn't work for tons and tons of people, even people who can afford their premiums, but it's still a terrible system. I mean, you're right. I don't have an answer. This is one of the areas in which I am
And
least optimistic in politics, which
and the
is,
Democrats,
yeah,
they sorry, they seem more concerned about what the moderates think about. Well, what about the center right or the white working class? What they care about? No, I don't understand what I'm saying. They're worried about a group of voters that won't vote for them. You don't see
yeah.
Republicans caring about
I don't think
minorities
that's stupid. I
or
mean, I don't think we should write off how certain portions of the electorate will see the policies of Democrats. I actually think that's important, and ignoring that is how you end up with terrible candidates that lose elections. So I disagree with you that it's bad to think about that, but I think it all has to happen sort of like a broader context of understanding the world in which a candidate is running. But I don't think it's a bad thing for Democrats to ask those questions.
but like these. I know. Maybe I'm just like we have like Biden who thinks, oh, we can work with the Republicans. No, we can't work with the Republicans. We can't. We
Okay,
we just can't.
now you're talking. Yes, there's a difference between considering how a white working class voter will see the policy of a Democratic candidate versus these completely out of this world ideas that as soon as we have a Democratic president, Republicans are going to work with us on stuff. It's like, no, they're not. We know from experience that they're not. Look at the first 2 years of Barack Obama's presidency.
Yeah, like we should have like this is my problem with the Democratic Party. They don't have that. There was an interesting article I read. Republicans understand powers. Their insane abortion bills. Basically, an article. Basically, they show how they understand power. They're in power. They want to do what they want, and they're
Yes.
going to do it no matter what. If only Democrats had that spine. But we want to have Medicare for all, so we're going to do it, and we're going to steamroll it.
Yep,
They
they
should
seem
do
to
it with the
understand
same
that, and
passion
Democrats
as
only sometimes do. Listen, really appreciate the call. Great to hear from our folks down in Rhode Island. Hope to hear from you again.